Hi, everybody. Today is Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, and this is the kickoff to the JavaScript track. So I'm here on Exercism, and I'm looking at the learning track for JavaScript, and we're going to jump right in and read the basics. So JavaScript is a dynamic language supporting object-oriented, imperative, and declarative, i.e., e.g., functional programming styles. Reassignment. There are a few primary ways to assign values to names in JavaScript using variables or constants. On Exercism, variables are always written in camel case. Constants are written in screaming snake case. There is no official guide to follow, and various companies and organizations have various style guides. Feel free to write variables any way you like. The upside from writing them the way the exercises are prepared is that they'll be highlighted differently in web interfaces and most IDEs. Variables in JavaScript can be defined using const, let, or var keywords. A variable can reference different values over its lifetime when using let or var. For example, my first variable can be defined and redefined many times using the assignment operator. Let my first variable equal the integer value 1. My first variable equals some string, single quotes. My first variable equals new some complex class, parentheses. In contrast to let and var, variables that are defined with const can only be assigned once. This is used to define constants in JavaScript, where my first constant equals 10 cannot be reassigned. My first constant equals 20. You'll get a type error assignment to constant variable. In later learning exercise, the difference between constant assignment / binding and constant value is explored and explained. Okay. Function declarations. In JavaScript, units of functionality are encapsulated in functions, usually grouping functions together in the same file. That if they belong together, these functions can take parameters or arguments and can return a value using the return keyword. Functions are invoked using the parentheses syntax. So we declare a function called add, takes in number 1, number 2, returns number 1 plus number 2. Add 1, 3, returns 4. In JavaScript, there are many different ways to declare a function. These other ways look different than using the function keyword. The track tries to gradually introduce them, but if you already know about them, feel free to use any of them. In most cases, using one or the other isn't better or worse. Exposing to other files. To make a function or constant or a variable available in another file, they need to be exported using the export keyword. Another file may then import these using the import keyword. This is also known as the module system. A great example is how all the tests work. Each exercise has at least one file, for example, lasagna.js, which contains the implementation. Additionally, there is at least one other file, for example, lasagna.spec.js, that contains the test. This file imports the public, i.e. exported entities to test the implementation. So for this example here, they've got a assumed file.js file, where we're defining my value and creating functions. And then inside of file.spec.js, we are importing both my value and the add function from the file using the path. And those are both exported because we use the exported keyword. Cool. All right. And then, and the only other note I had to share, this is a personal thing. So I have a background working with Swift programming language for Apple development. And in that language, let is for static values. And so in my early days of JavaScript, it's been a little awkward because I look at let and I think of locked in values, and that is not what's going on. Also, the use of the all caps, I like that. I don't think I've seen that a lot in my early JavaScript work, but I don't know, maybe that'll come. All right, so moving on to our first exercise, Lucian's Luscious Lasagna. Hopefully my knowledge of the Elixir track and its brain teasers from a year ago will help me in case I have issues with these. I don't expect any issues in these first couple, but some of the later exercises, I don't know, the wording of the phrases like confused me. But all right. So all right, so we're gonna actually do these locally. Because part of this goal is like I want to get used to the VS Code like things. So we're gonna stay here though. I'll read the introduction here. And why is the introduction listed twice? Oh, I guess they repeat the JavaScript concept stuff here. Okay, that's fine. So we'll skip all that. We'll jump to the bottom here. Lucian's girlfriend is on her way home, and he hasn't cooked their anniversary dinner. In this exercise, you're going to write some code to help Lucian cook an exquisite lasagna from his favorite cookbook. You have 4 tasks related to the time spent cooking the lasagna. Define the expected oven time in minutes. Define the expected minutes in oven constant that represents how many minutes the lasagna should be in the oven. It must be exported according to the cooking book. The expected oven time in minutes is 40. Calculate the remaining. All right, well, we'll do these one by one because that, if I remember correctly, that's kind of like how the test file stuff works. So, it did set up a VS Code extension. I'll open it up here. I installed the Jest extension, so I can get like the test to work. So like, if we open the so let's open the lasagna.js file. We'll check that out in a sec. Then we open up lasagna.spec file. This is, what's going to run our test, and my understanding is this uses a language called Jest. And then we can even open up the README, and that'll have our instructions, right? Yeah. And then like we'll also get our instructions from the test. So, I guess that's actually one of the other things. So like the other thing we need to do is run npm install. When you can say the word install, or you can just say npm I and it'll just do the install. So I'm going to install those and I'm going to clip the video. All right. So for this simple example, I have did 682 packages in 18 seconds. Gotta love that ecosystem there. All right, and then let me reload my window here. All right, cool. So now it picks up the tests, and you can see it. All the tests are failing, so that looks good. All right. And let me. I'm gonna remove that. Let's see what's going on here. The line above enables type checking for this file. Various IDEs interpret the TS check directive. It will give you helpful auto-completion on the web and supported IDEs. When implementing this exercise, you don't need to understand types, JS, doc, or TypeScript in order to complete this JavaScript exercise, and completely ignore this comment block and directive. Hi there. On the JavaScript track, we provide you with stubs. These stubs provide a starting point to solve the exercise. In general, each variable constant in each declarated function will have a JS.doc comment block above it, explaining what the variable/constant holds or the function is supposed to accomplish. Often the JS.doc comment blocks have annotations such as param and returns, which are usually highlighted with a different color if the IDE you're in recognizes them. It's these annotations that are often used when referring to the constant variable or function from somewhere else the IDE displays. You don't need to write these yourself. It is not expected in idiomatic JavaScript, but some companies and style guides do enforce them. You're allowed to completely clear the stub before you get started. Often we're recommending using the stub because they are already set up correctly to work with the tests, which you can find in lasagna.spec.js. Good luck preparing some lasagna. Okay. Yeah, this is like, I don't know. This is like part of my ignorance. So like, I'm aware that like JavaScript is dynamic. I'm aware that TypeScript is something that, you know, goes on top of JavaScript that adds types and you know, and it does, it's part of the tool chain. It's like, you know, it does like a lot of compile to build up the type system. And then the like competing not standard, but the competing like practice is these docs, which would be called JS doc, I believe. Anyway, I know TS. I don't know what like TypeScript typically ends with .ts files, and so I guess TS check adds TypeScript to a .js file. I don't really know. I don't really understand how TypeScript and these JS docs, if that's what they're called, like work together. I don't know. All this is to say is I don't know what I'm doing. So, okay. So let's just get this started. Number of minutes it takes to prepare a single layer. Okay. Good luck preparing some lasagna. All right. So let's see here. Number 1, define the expected oven time in minutes. Define expected minutes in oven constant. So I would assume that it would just be. That's funny. I am using like Copilot, so I didn't use Copilot when I first did this a year ago, so that'll be kind of interesting. So you need to declare it, and then you need to export it. So to make it available. There you go. Look, I exported it. I hit save, and then the Jest plugin automatically ran the test, and they showed green. That's neat. I like that. All right. Implement remaining minutes in oven function that takes the actual minutes the lasagna has been in the oven as a parameter and returns how many minutes the lasagna still has to remain in the oven based on the expected oven time in minutes from the previous task. Okay. So they've stubbed this out. So they've got determines the number of minutes. Remove this. Okay. Remaining minutes, actual minutes in oven. That would just be expected minutes in oven minus actual minutes in oven. Remaining. What does this do? No. So when you pass in 30, you should get 10. So when you pass in 30, you should get 10. That looks right. Implement remaining minutes in oven. That takes the actual minutes the lasagna has been in the oven as a parameter. Actual minutes in oven. And returns how many minutes the lasagna still has to remain in the oven based on the expected oven time in minutes from the previous task. Okay. Why does that not work? So let's figure this out. So like when you run the npm test. So that's like the one thing you don't get here. I guess you could, can you debug a test? All right, yeah, that's what we want, because we want to be able to see what it's actually returning. So expected 15 to be expected. If you pass in 25, it received undefined. Why did it get undefined? Do you have to type a return? No. You do? Oh, the return's not assumed. See? This is why we're doing it. This is why we're learning. Okay. Da 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 da. Yeah. Okay. Wow. There you go. All right. So let's keep going. Number 3. Calculate the preparation time in minutes. Implement preparation time in minutes given the number of layers. Given a number of layers. Assuming each layer takes you 2 minutes to prepare. So that would just be, yeah. So that'll just be that constant. That should be fine. Okay. Yeah, that's all green. Cool. Calculate the total working time in minutes. Implement total time in minutes function that takes the number of layers parameter, this number of layers as lasagna, and the actual minutes and oven parameter. Total time in minutes. It might actually be it might be a bad idea to use Copilot with this, because Copilot's seen these examples, so like it's going to work right away. I'll have to think about that. I might have to disable that while I work on these videos. Yeah, okay. Number of minutes lasagna. The function should return how many minutes in total you've worked on cooking the lasagna, which is the sum of the preparation time in minutes and the time in minutes the lasagna has spent in the oven. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I might have to turn that off. That's that could be a problem. All right. So once you get your stuff working, basically you can submit it to Exercism with submit, and then your file, and it'll know. And you want to, it's your implementation file, and then it'll upload it, and it'll see this is like iteration 1. It'll run all the tests, and all the tests pass, and so then you can mark it as complete. You can choose to publish your solution or not. I will publish mine. And then you've completed the example, Lucian Luscious Lasagna. You've learned 1 concept and unlocked 3 exercises by completing this exercise. So basics concept is done. We've unlocked 4 new concepts: booleans, numbers, strings, and arithmetic operators. Cool. So one of the things I like to do after I submit my iteration and I'm all passed is go into the community solutions and look what they've done. Now for this work, I don't expect a lot of different solutions. You can see like this solution, yeah, there's not really. That's interesting. In the preview, they kind of strip out all the comments so you can kind of see it. Yeah, so like this person implemented the functions using some different syntax, and so sometimes it's kind of fun to kind of come in here and look at that. The other thing I want to check out, which I wasn't sure what this is, dig deeper. There are no introduction notes for Lucian. I don't know what that'll be. That's cool. They link to some of the community videos, and that actually you can come in here and so just to kind of close the gap here. So like dig deeper. We'll check that out more. The community videos are interesting because you can actually like go under the Discover tab and look at the community videos, and you can even scope it per track. So like you can actually even find some of my Elixir videos on there through there. But if you have a problem or questions, you can publish your solution to code review, and then you'll get some feedback from like a mentor, which can be, you know, very helpful. But cool. I think that's it for this one. All right. So going back to JavaScript and learn, we've learned basics, and I don't know, next one we'll probably do is numbers. And yeah, so thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.